Hey guys, I know it's been ages since I've made a video, but I figured video would be the best format to explain some stuff that's been going on. So, I got a new job. I'm going to be moving about 60 miles away from where I live right now. I'm going to be moving in with my dad temporarily so that I won't have to commute to work and blah blah blah. So, because of having to move in with my dad, and after I move out of my dad's, I'm going to be living with a friend, I can't have this massive collection of dolls. I just cannot. So I sold a lot of my dolls. I still have some for sale. Hopefully, I really want to sell them before the end of December, so because I have nowhere for them to go after the end of December. But anyway, my plan that didn't work out was that I was going to only keep Sunny and Killian and the minis, my 3 mini babies, because I don't really count them as part of my reborn collection because they're so tiny. I was only going to keep those, and that was going to be it. But I caved. I mean, look at this little face. Just look, like, he was so upset with me. So, additionally, Draven, Zeke, Addie, probably, and then Jigsaw definitely. Glenn, I would still probably like to sell Glenn, but if he doesn't sell, I'll still take him. So anyway, I'm going to be moving in with my dad in about 2 days, so I'm only going to take Killian and Sunny there with me. Everybody else is going to have to stay here. As I'm going to keep my trailer for the month of December, just so I don't have to move my stuff twice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Draven ready to be packed up. So I'm going to give him a bath, and I'm going to put a sleeper and a jacket on him. So when I leave on Monday, right now I'm filming this is Saturday. When I leave on Monday, I am going to be turning the heat down to between 55 and 60, just so I don't have to pay for heating oil. So any dolls that stay here, I'm going to just bundle them up really well. So yeah. So to kind of explain that a little bit more in detail, I mean, I love my current job. Like, I love the residents that I work with. I'm a nurse at a facility for people with disabilities, and I love the residents and I love my coworkers, but my boss was just awful, and I was working so much. She's calling me at home. She was nasty to me, like downright nasty. There was some issues where she forced me to cancel my vacation, and I don't feel like it was right. I was supposed to be on vacation on Halloween, and that didn't happen. And she just is not a pleasant person to deal with. And I didn't appreciate being called at home all the time, being forced to come into work, having my schedule changed at the last minute, like literally, like nobody even told me what time I was supposed to come in that day. Like, my schedule got changed while I was off for a couple days, and then I didn't even know when I was supposed to come in the next time, and just total BS. And I'd had enough of it. Like, it's just ridiculous. Also, like, where I'm living right now, I have my mom, my stepdad, and my grandmother, and my stepsister and her family are nearby, but literally all the rest of my family, my dad, my grandparents, some aunts and uncles, my boyfriend, everybody else is living in this area where I just got my new job. So that's exciting. And another thing about me, like, I have only been a nurse for 3 years as of this past September, I think, is when I got my license. So I haven't been a nurse for very long, and the kind of work that I was doing, that I am still doing, that I have my last shift tomorrow, is kind of like, this is those people's home that I'm taking care of, so it's like I'm just giving them their meds, and if they get sick, you do what you can, like the same stuff you do at home, like over-the-counter stuff and whatever, and then if that doesn't work, you send them to the hospital. Like, there wasn't really a whole lot of nursing skill involved in what I was doing, you know? Like, you don't even, like, I don't even know why they even really need an RN to do that job. Like, you could just have, like, somebody who's, like, a med tech do it, because mostly what I was doing was giving out meds, you know? But the way that facility is for their licensing, they have to have a RN in the building 24/7. So that leads to a lot of things like mandating. Like, you just, if the person who's supposed to work after you doesn't show up, you cannot go home. You know, stuff like that happening. That happened to me a couple times. So, you know, you end up, your 12-hour shift turns into a 16 or a, you don't know how long. Not being able to call in sick, or if you try to call in sick, they just, like, don't believe you and, like, try to force you to come in anyway. Like, that's not cool. Like, yes, I know I'm in the nursing field and short staffing is going to be an issue no matter where I go, but I feel like this is, like, they've been short-staffed and been getting worse staffing-wise since I've been there. And they keep saying, oh, just wait until this happens and it's going to get better and da-da-da, and it never does. And I feel like a lot of times I was getting the short end of the stick because I don't have children. So apparently that means I don't have a life, okay? And they can just make me work whatever, whenever, and it doesn't matter because I have nothing else to do because I don't have children, which is total bull. Like, I hate that attitude. Because, I probably haven't really talked about this on my channel, but I don't plan on having children. Like, as far as I know, there's nothing physically wrong with me. There's no reason that I couldn't physically have a child, but it's just not something that I want. And I don't feel like I should be treated differently at work because I've chosen not to have children, that I should, you know, have to work more than other people or have a less flexible schedule than other people because I chose not to have children. Because, you know, I still have family and friends and a boyfriend and doctor's appointments, and I still have things that I need to do. Just because I don't have children doesn't mean that I can just work 24/7 and not do anything else with my life. Like, it's just, it's really irritating. And not just, I mean, if you have kids, that's great, but it's not for me. But, you know, these are my children. I don't need, I don't feel the need to have a child. If I ever did, I would probably adopt an older child in the very distant future. But other than that, it's just not for me. I'm fine with being an aunt and having dolls. Alright. Now that we've got him all clean, I'm going to put these socks back on that he already had on. Yeah, that was my rant about my job. But my new job is at what is called a critical access hospital. So the area that I'm from, that I was born in, that I'm moving back to, is a very rural, very small town sort of area. Like, I didn't grow up in the town that this hospital's in. I grew up in the next town over. But, a critical access hospital just means that it's in an area where there's not a whole lot of people, but it's also far away from a bigger hospital. So these people really need access to care, but there's not a whole lot of people. So this hospital has 25 inpatient beds, and then it has an emergency room. I'm going to be working in a unit called the special care unit, which is kind of like an intensive care unit, but I don't think that, you know, it would be as intensive as your big hospital intensive care unit. Like, they just don't have the equipment for that. But there'll only be 3 beds on my unit. I'd be the only nurse. And they said most of the time you wouldn't have 3 patients in those beds. You might have 1, or you might have nobody. Like, you're just kind of there in case somebody from one of the other units goes downhill, or somebody comes in the ER who's really sick, and then I'd have them for a little bit, and then they'd get transferred to one of the bigger hospitals or something like that. So I'd get to see a lot of things. A lot of things. Like, in a critical access hospital, you're going to get to see a little bit of everything, which is cool. So, 'cause as a young nurse, like, I don't have a lot of experience. I worked in a big hospital for the first 1.5 years of my nursing career. And that's where I got the basics, you know. But, you know, there's a lot that I've kind of lost working in this job for the past 1.5 years. Oh, I should have done this first. So I'd like to kind of gain those skills back and then build some new skills, you know. I just don't feel like, I've only been a nurse for 3 years, that I should be stagnating already. Like, I need to get out there and expand my knowledge and explore things a little more before I just settle down in a dead-end job, you know? Like, that job was an entire dead end, okay? And, like, they were telling me when I interviewed at this hospital that they had promoted nurses up to, like, management positions and, like, supervisors and all kinds of stuff. Like, I had 0 opportunity for that at my old job. Not a chance of anything like that ever happening, because there just weren't those jobs. But there are at this hospital. Like, they said they just opened, like, a new wound care clinic, and they're trying to staff that. You know, even though it's a small hospital, they still are growing and trying to offer more services to the people in the area, because, you know, even if there's a few people, there's still things that those few people need. So I'm excited. I'm nervous because I left the hospital because it was too crazy. But I feel like this is a hospital, but it's not a crazy hospital. I mean, I'm sure there's going to be times where things are crazy and whatever, but I love this hoodie. It's so stinking cute. But it's not going to be big hospital crazy where I had 7 patients and all the other nurses hated me and I had no clue what was going on half the time. You know, I feel like even though it's a hospital, it's a tiny hospital. And they seemed like really nice people. And I even flat out asked them, I said, hey, when I worked at a hospital before, like, I felt like the other nurses didn't like me and they just kind of let me drown. Like, do you see that behavior in your hospital? And they said, oh, no, definitely not. And they said if I saw it to tell them right away. So, yeah. So here's Mr. Draven, all cozy and ready to get packed up. I'm a little nervous about his horns underneath the hat, but I'm thinking it'd be better to cover them than to not cover them, but we shall see. So yeah, sorry if I was kind of ranty about my old job, but yeah. I'm gonna film a video getting Zeke ready next, and I'll maybe delve into more details to what's going on, because I don't feel like I fully explained what's happening with my collection and all that. So I will see you guys in the next video.